Not only is Kenjaku a far more superior antagonist than Sukuna, but he will also be the reason that Sukuna is inevitably defeated. Yeah, I know, you're probably thinking, oh my god, Allons-Y has finally lost it, but no, I guarantee you that is not the case. I have been enlightened. I have awakened my reverse curse technique and applied it to my limitless Utacopium technique, leaving me with a curse technique reversal, Kenjaku Brain Glaze. My goal here is simple, to make you all reflect on and appreciate Kenjaku's overwhelming power. I guarantee by the end of the video, you're all going to be in the comments like, "You're so right!" In my opinion, Kenjaku is easily a top 5 strongest sorcerer in the entire JJK verse. However, we all know that he's never touching Sukuna or Gojo in a head-on fight. But the thing with Kenjaku is, if there's something that he wants to achieve, neither Sukuna nor Gojo are capable of stopping him. To explain it very simply, Kenjaku is simply the tortoise in the Tortoise and the Hare story. He's not even close to being the fastest or the strongest, but he still comes out on top regardless. Now, something a lot of you don't realize is that Kenjaku is likely from the Nara era before the Heian era, which would make him somewhere around 1,300 years old at the very least. Tengen and the Star Religious Group were from the Nara era, and given Kenjaku's strong ties and apparent close relationship with Tengen, I think it's pretty safe to assume that he was from the Nara era too. In typical Allons-Y fashion, I'm now going to give an unimportant but interesting idea to dwell on in your free time, and if you watch my videos, you probably do have a lot of free time, you nerds. Tengen and Kenjaku clearly go way back and even share similar techniques, both allowing them to live forever just with slightly different methods. And there's also the imagery used for the prison realm. Kenjaku has the front gate, which is covered in eyes similar to Tengen's appearance, and Tengen has the back gate bearing a stitched up opening very similar to Kenjaku's own stitches. I think Gege's made it clear that they're definitely related in some way, probably siblings or maybe Sukuna's parents, but again, it's not too important, just something fun to think about. Anyway, Kenjaku is simply a deceitful, manipulative psychopath who wants to push the limits of cursed energy as high as possible, all for his own entertainment. In a similar way to Sukuna, Kenjaku is simply seeking something to satisfy his boredom. But unlike Sukuna, Kenjaku has no interest in fighting or pushing his own limits, as opposed to wanting to push cursed energy's limits on a more macro level. Kenjaku's first idea on how to achieve his goal was to prevent the Star Plasma Vessel from merging with Tengen and forcing her to evolve beyond control. However, a higher power called Fate intervened and ensured that a Six Eyes user was always present to protect the merger. Kenjaku even killed Six Eyes users at birth, but Fate still ensured that the merger went ahead. This being Kenjaku's plan though, makes me believe that he is the true founder of the Star Religious Group, a group that worships Tengen and wants to prevent Tengen from merging to remain a pure being, or whatever the hell their reasoning is. I mean, it does add up. The group's goals align with Kenjaku's, they were also around in the Nara era, and Kenjaku is exactly the kind of guy you would expect to become a successful cult leader. It also works very well because the Star Religious Group were actually the ones who hired Toji to stop the merger, and having fully escaped cursed energy, Toji was finally able to break the bonds of fate and start Tengen's evolution. Years prior to the Hidden Inventory arc though, when he was a young Zenin in his prime, Toji was approached by a star plasma vessel called Yuki Tsukumo. Now she wanted to study him and understand how having zero curse energy was achieved, but he basically just told her to fuck off. Now if a star plasma vessel like Yuki was aware of Toji, it's entirely possible that Kenjaku, the potential leader of the Star Religious Group, was also aware of Toji and then deliberately hired him to kill Riko Omanai. Either way, I firmly believe that Kenjaku founded the organization. It just makes sense. Fate wanted to interject again, however, as along came a very good kid with curse manipulation who was driven to insanity by both his own experiences and his technique. Geto went insane and stole ownership of the Star Religious Group for his own agenda, which makes it even more poetic that eventually Kenjaku took over Geto's body and would have reclaimed ownership of his own damn cult. Preventing the merger caused Tengen to evolve into a curse spirit-like being, allowing Kenjaku to absorb her via Geto's curse manipulation and then prepare a merger with all of Japan powered by the Culling Games. I mean, I know this video is meant to be Kenjaku Glaze, but there is just no denying that Kenjaku got hella lucky at every point of his plan here. Before Toji came along though, Fate was definitely not on Kenjaku's side because across 1,000 years he was completely unable to prevent Tengen's merger. But Tengen's merger was not Kenjaku's only focus. Kenjaku became a living library of cursed energy knowledge, supposedly being the one to invent the technique of splitting your soul into a cursed object. He then taught this technique to Sukuna, who managed to split his soul into 20 pieces and carry on after death as cursed fingers. He then continued to manipulate countless of the most powerful sorcerers across history into making binding vows and allowing Kenjaku to make them into cursed objects for reincarnation. Sukuna, Urame, Yorozu, Uro, Ryu, and Kashimo are probably all of the noticeably strong ones that Kenjaku went and forged binding vows with. Having done this across the course of 1,000 years just shows how smart, strong, and patient Kenjaku really is, and that is the reason that he will win against everybody. The key thing to remember about Kenjaku though is that he is a liar. He is consistently inconsistent. He deceives and manipulates everybody, including Sukuna, Gojo, and even the readers themselves. Kenjaku's plans may be individually very obvious now, but how they all tie together is still a massive mystery. Tengen and the Culling game seem like Kenjaku's main plan. The Curse Room death painting seemed like nothing more than a different plan that simply failed. Sukuna and Yuji appear to be yet another plan, although one that's still completely unknown to us and potentially even part of the original Tengen merger plan. Don't forget, across history, Kenjaku stood firmly with the belief that Sukuna is the current limit for cursed energy. Some people may consider this Kenjaku respecting Sukuna, but on the contrary, Sukuna stands for everything Kenjaku is wanting to destroy. Kenjaku wants to push the limits of cursed energy, and currently the closest thing is Sukuna, to which Kenjaku basically just said, no, you're not good enough. Kenjaku literally witnessed Sukuna's full strength and then decided he wanted to see something even better. He decided that that wasn't enough to satisfy his own boredom. What I'm getting at here is that Yuji and Sukuna's exact role in Kenjaku's plan remains very unclear, but what we do know is that should this plan succeed, an entity far stronger than Sukuna should be born, the first ever in history to completely surpass Sukuna. And it doesn't stop there. The entire cast, including Sukuna, have grown comfortable with the idea that Kenjaku's only goal is to merge Japan with Tengen. Hell, even you dumbass readers think that, but assuming it's that simple is, pardon my language, hella stupid, bruv. All Kenjaku does is lie and manipulate and deceive. When asked what his plan was, he literally responds by saying he loses track of what he tells people because he's constantly yapping. Sure, Tengen's important, and sure, Yuji's important, and sure, Chozo probably isn't as important and is a complete failure to Kenjaku, but that's besides the point. The reason why I don't really make many merger theory videos is because Kenjaku could literally have so many tricks up his sleeve that I just can't predict. It's definitely not as black and white as Tengen will or will not merge with Japan. There are endless possibilities and theories, some involving Yuji, some involving Sukuna, and some even involving Kenjaku himself. The point is, bro cooked for 1,000 years and you really think he's done now? Hell no. The cast nor the readers know for sure what Kenjaku's plans truly are and how they all tie together. And it is this fact, backed up by Kenjaku's insane intelligence and patience, that make me genuinely believe Kenjaku is far superior to both Gojo and Sukuna. Now when I say that, I hope you do realize that I don't mean in a simple 1v1 jujutsu battle. But it's the fact that I don't mean a simple one-on-one jujutsu battle that makes Kenjaku so damn dangerous. Sukuna, Gojo, Yorozu, Kashimo, Miwa, all the strongest sorcerers in history have that mindset of needing to challenge those who also claim to be the strongest. What makes Kenjaku so goated is despite being top 5 in the verse, he has absolutely no interest in fighting or challenging anybody. He couldn't give a shit about being the strongest, and that's exactly how he survived the Heian era and all those encounters with those strong sorcerers so damn easily. He is simply not worthy of fighting because he doesn't care for such boring things. Yet even the strongest sorcerers know how dangerous he is because of his unpredictable and chaotic nature, and that is why, in the end, Kenjaku's patience and planning will lead to Sukuna's defeat. As Chozo pointed out, the curse wombs were failed experiments, yet Kenjaku still created a child again 150 years later, and we already know that Yuji Itadori is very special and very physically gifted. Without revealing how he did this, Kenjaku tells Chozo that Yuji was made to be the perfect vessel, and that as long as he and Sukuna coexist, the chain of curses will never end. Now, there are lots of very good theories about what this means. Some think this means Yuji and Sukuna are twins, but some think that Yuji will be the merger's vessel. There are simply too many possibilities to be sure of, though. All that matters is that Yuji is a deliberate creation of Kenjaku's, whose full purpose and nature are not yet known. Kenjaku simply keeps knowledge from us. He knows things that we don't, and he constantly drops pieces of the puzzle, which we should not blindly trust because Kenjaku is a liar. Now, Satoru Gojo is/was the strongest modern day sorcerer and levels beyond Kenjaku in terms of their skill with Jujutsu. But through incredible planning and manipulation of the disaster curses, Kenjaku outright defeated Gojo without getting so much as a scratch on him. Sure, he didn't kill him, but in my opinion, sealing Gojo away in the prison realm for as long as he did should definitely be counted as a victory for Kenjaku. My overall point to this video, though, is that Kenjaku will do the same thing to Sukuna by throwing the method of 1v1 Jujutsu combat that Sukuna is so used to straight out of the window and instead cause his demise through 1,000 years of careful planning. With Sukuna being the current limit for Jujutsu, Kenjaku obviously wants to create something far stronger, hence pushing the limits of cursed energy. But defeating Sukuna is not Kenjaku's main motivation, but rather a side effect or consequence of his overall plan. No matter how you look at it though, Sukuna will fall to a creation of Kenjaku. Either Itadori's purpose is revealed and he fully awakens to rival Sukuna, or Sukuna just flat out kills everybody, summons the Tengen merger curse, curse and then inevitably loses to this much stronger being. At the end of the day, both outcomes were brought about by Kenjaku.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't lie, I've gone down a serious Kenjaku merger fate rabbit hole here, so I would expect a few more videos expanding further on some points mentioned here because I just can't get any of this shit out of my head at the moment. I genuinely have so much I want to say about this topic, but if I didn't split up the main points into separate videos, then this would all just merge together to become an hour of worthless yap. But yeah, that about does it for today's Kenjaku glazing video, and I really hope that I helped you all to see the light and understand why he is the GOAT. Make sure to follow me over on Twitter. Also, please don't forget to like and sub or I'm gonna hit you with my shoe. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll probably see you pretty soon for some leaks discussions.